Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European?
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Peace, family. This is your brother, Mr. Holipsism. I'm here on Black Friday, November 25th, 2016. And it's something I wanted to get off my chest. I wanted to do a show on this on Wednesday before Thanksgiving, but I just didn't have the time. Like I had to work that night, and I just didn't want to. And I had to be to work early. So I didn't want to rush and do that and then rush to go to work. So I said, you know what, let me just chill. But one of the things, or the thing I should say, I wanted to talk about was just everything in totality as to where we are as a people right now. And this includes, the election of Donald Trump as president and just the climate that's going on in this country and the climate that's going on in the world, and why, after all of this and after it has been proven that um, Captain America Negroes and militant integrationists and Black Power Americans are incompetent and incapable of providing any type of clear and concise future or vision for our people, I still am in shock. I wouldn't say shock, but just amazement. I'm just perplexed as to how nationhood isn't a talking point on the table. We're still having discussions about this. I mean, if you check out my video and the video titled "No More Mic Time for Black Power Americans," this discussion took place after the nomination of Trump, after the election of Trump as president. And you got this idiot on the phone with me, this jackass, actually angry at nationalists. You just nominated a buffoon and a clown as your president. You allowed this guy to get into office, and you provided no plan B for your people other than just, we can do it right here. We was here first. The black people ain't from Africa. They right here from North America. Okay, so what are you Facebook Native Americans, YouTube Native Americans, Twitter Native Americans going to do now that your president is Donald Trump? Once again, crickets, no answers, no solutions. Y'all just don't get it. You still don't get it. See, and I sort of understand why, because in the conscious community, and I think it's because of these debates and all this other stuff that's been going on and these beefs and stuff in the conscious community, I really feel that people have just gotten trained and gotten used to conflict. They gotten trained and gotten used to fighting and arguing and mental masturbation. It's almost like when you have a conversation with somebody, they're not hearing a damn thing that you're saying or trying to come to some type of common ground. They're just waiting till you get through saying whatever the hell you got to say, and so they can come back with their counterpoint. I love it. It doesn't seem like it because I tend to go against people that's mad disrespectful. But for the most part, like offline, I've had plenty of conversations with Captain America Negroes, Black Power Americans, and militant integrationists that haven't divulged into a bunch of name calling and you a bitch and I'm gonna fuck you up and all this other. It's just been disagreements. And I've been able to listen to them. They've been able to listen to me. We may not have changed each other's mind, but we were able to walk away and still be cool. So it is possible to have a discussion without it, degenerating into ad hominem attacks and bullshit. Because I really believe there are certain people who believe what they believe because of what they know or what they've researched or how they view reality or what their perspective is on things. I don't have an issue with that. I disagree with it, but I believe if you sit down and you talk to people and you give them your point of view and you just approach, if you have somebody that is willing and able to deal with logic and reasoning, if that's their compass, then eventually I think it's just inevitable that you're going to be a nationalist. It's inevitable because what most people don't realize is that they're arguing for nationalism while fighting against nationalism simultaneously. Perfect example is that video, No More Mic Time for Black Power Americans. The guy on the line, he was hot when I said you have to control the land. Just heated when I said that. Then his counter is, well, you talking about land. Well, we got land right here in America. There's towns in America that black people control. So controlling the land is not your problem then. If you come back to me and you say that we have land that we can control, then controlling the land isn't the issue. So then why did you get mad when I said we need to control the land? Oh, I see. You get mad because if I'm talking about land outside of America, then your Stockholm syndrome it gets triggered. You get triggered. You feel a microaggression from me when I say that. You need a little safe space for you to calm down and be not be terrorized by these radical concepts of actually having something off the shores of America where you can control the land and the infrastructure and have your nationhood without having to deal with American bullshit. So this is the thing about that I wanted to express when it comes to um, nationhood and why nationhood is this super fucking complicated shit that we got to have every damn detail down to the nuts and bolts of what's going to be on the bridge and what cement we using for the high. See, you're getting ahead of yourselves, way ahead of yourself. This is really simple, and I've been saying this for a long time. Maybe I haven't been clear enough with it. All it takes for us to get on track is if we have a groundswell of people who say, you know what, the nationalists are right. You guys don't know what the fuck you talking about. We need a nation. That's all that's required. Grassroots people need to sign up to the BAIO network and they need to connect with people of like mind in their state or wherever country they're in. Well, basically, I'm going to stay with the states because that's where we're trying to get out of this country. So all these states in America, there are people in America, in those states, that think just like you, that want nationhood. We just don't know how many there are. I think out of the 44 million black people here in America, it's probably going to be about anywhere from 2 to 5%, 5% tops. But I'm thinking more like 2.5%. That's more than enough that's needed. More than enough that's needed to establish and to organize and finance and build something. Because you don't take 44 million people over to the continent and then they all looking at each other like, all right, what's next? That's not how it goes down. Once we know how many people that actually want nationhood and don't want to deal with the socioeconomic and political context of America and want something that we can control on the continent, once we have those numbers, which we will only know if people join the BAIO, because the BAIO, as far as I know, is the only group with an infrastructure that's supporting the concept of land infrastructure and nationhood. If you can point me to another group, I mean, I would love to know who they are, but most groups that you see is either old school Pan-Africanist groups or nation within a nation groups who's talking about establishing some nation here in America. You have a small group of people that want to establish something in the Caribbean, which I can sort of understand, but I think that that's a supplement to nationhood on the continent, because we were shipped over to the islands just like we were shipped over to America. So I don't consider that our home. That's just me personally. Our home is the motherland. But everybody is so, looking at this thing like it's such a complicated endeavor. The first thing that needs to happen is people have to first, it's just like what is it, Alcoholics Anonymous, where they say before you can solve the problem, you have to admit that there's a problem. You have to first admit that you're an alcoholic. It's the same thing with nationhood. We have to first admit that America is not working for us and that we actually want a nation. Right now, we don't have a lot of people that's openly saying that. I mean, we have the BAIO, but we don't have a whole lot. We don't have a big groundswell of people. And you would think after the Trump nomination that we would have been, vindicated. That what we've been saying for all of these years has actually come to fruition. But what I'm getting is, and this is the best way for me to really explain where I'm even going with this video. Does anybody remember when the Chicago Bulls played the Knicks? I don't even remember what year it was. I think it was 96, but I'm not sure. Don't give me the line. But the Knicks lost the series, and there was a game, the last game, where Charles Smith got a rebound, or he either got the rebound or he got the dish from Patrick Ewing. But regardless, he was under the basket and he was trying to score. That score would have either tied the game or put the Knicks ahead. I can't remember exactly because it was a while ago. But Charles Smith went up and he got blocked 4 times. Now, while Charles Smith was trying to put the ball in the hoop against the entire Chicago Bulls team, what were the other players on the Knicks doing? All the other, if you look at the video, and I think I'll put the link to the video in the description box so that you guys can see what I'm talking about. All the other Knicks players are in the background. They're behind the Chicago Bulls playing, looking at Charles Smith trying to get the ball in the hoop. And Charles Smith, he went up, got blocked, got the rebound, got blocked again, went up, got blocked again. He's just going up trying to make the basket, but none of his teammates are actually in the paint helping him. He's against the entire Chicago Bulls team. And of course, he didn't get it in. They stole the ball and they won the game. The reason why I use that analogy is because that's what the BAIO is. The BAIO is Charles Smith. We're trying to put the ball in the hoop and win the game. The teammates is everybody in the black community. Everybody in all those 44 million people in America. Sitting back, watching us twist in the wind, sitting back going, ooh, I wonder what they're going to do. Ooh, how they going to pull this off? Ooh, really? Really? So you just you're going to leave us twisting in the wind, making these points, making these videos, establishing this infrastructure for, this social network so that people of like minds can get together. And instead of you just clicking on a goddamn link and signing up and finding out who else in your area is interested in nationhood, or trying to share videos, share these concepts. Y'all niggas too scared to even do that. You too scared to click on a link and join, or to share content because you so scared of what might happen if some white person knows that you down for nationhood. If that's the case, then it's a wrap, y'all. It's a wrap. I mean, we might be able to get a few hundred people. I mean, if you look at 2.5 percent out of 44 million, you're talking about a good 200,000 people. But you can't get 200,000 people if 199 9,000 of them are scared. So it might actually be a few hundred people that will actually openly say that they're for nationhood. That's the reality that and it's painful for me to even say that. But if you can't get people to actually agree that we need a nation, then how's there going to be any huge groundswell? Niggas is scared, and it's really embarrassing and it's shameful. And like I said, y'all just don't get it. But you're going to get it, and Donald Trump's going to teach you. Anyway, I'll holler at you good people later. Peace.